Our beloved viewers, welcome to the 9 p.m. English News edition brought to you live from RTD channel. The top stories of tonight are: concerning the presidential election 2026, the electoral campaign officially opens tonight at midnight, marking the start of candidates' preparation for April 10 vote, according to the Interior Minister. And a major fire has been caused, heightening regional tensions in Kuwait. We begin tonight news with the announcement from the Minister of the Interior, Saeed Noor Hassan, who stated this morning that the electoral campaign will start tonight at midnight and will run until April 8, 2026 at midnight. This announcement follows the provision of Decree number 365 on the organization of presidential election, particularly Article 11. In this context, and at the request of the candidates, the National Media Commission has granted an exception following allowing a television announcement at 6 p.m. to inform voters of the start of the campaign. The minister reminded that Djibouti has a long-standing tradition of holding elections reflecting the strength of its democratic institutions. He emphasized that responsibility lies with all actors, candidates and citizens alike, to preserve and strengthen this achievement. Mr. Saeed Noor Hassan called on all parties and candidates to act responsibly and ethically, to maintain a civilized conduct during the campaign, and to organize meetings and awareness activities in accordance with the proper law, rules and Republican values. He did not fail to encourage them to conduct a fair and responsible campaign, taking all necessary measures to prevent any disruption of public order in line with the existing laws and regulations. The use of illegal means or practices that could hinder the normal progress of the campaign is strictly prohibited. The minister also urged citizens to actively participate in this national event, reminded them that voting is both a fundamental right and a civic duty, and the best way to express their opinion. In this regard, voter cards are available, he said, across the whole country and can be collected until April 9. Distribution centers are open daily from 8 to 8 p.m., including public holidays except Fridays. Local authorities, he said, are fully prepared to assist citizens and facilitate the collection of their cards. Finally, the Minister of the Interior, Saeed Noor Hassan, assured the public that all necessary measures have been taken to ensure the smooth running or conduct of the electoral process under the best possible conditions nationwide. And now moving on to the inauguration of a new warehouse in PK12 area. The Central Purchasing Agency for Medicines and Essential Supplies officially inaugurated a new logistic warehouse today in the PK12 area in the presence of Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed and the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdilli. The new warehouse covers an area of 700 square meters and can accommodate 550 pallets. It is a modern facility replacing the old damaged warehouse and strengthens the country's capacity to store and distribute essential health products. And upon his arrival, the Prime Minister was welcomed by the Minister of the Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdilli, and the Director General of CAM, Mr. Abdurrahman. And during the visit, the Prime Minister inspected the quality of the new facilities, which meet a modern logistic standard, and inquire about the levels of medicine and medical equipment stocks nationwide, particularly by visiting the whole warehouse. This allowed him to assess the improvements introduced in the new infrastructure. This achievement reflects the commitment of Djiboutian authorities to ensure continuous, safe and high-quality supply of health products for all citizens. Additionally, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdilli, announced the upcoming constructions of 3 more warehouses, 2 of them in regional areas and in the capital as well. Let's recall that this initiative aims to decentralize medicine management and improve access to health products across the whole country. Following the warehouse inauguration, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed and Minister of Health Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdullah conducted an inspection visit to the community pharmacy at the Iftin Multi-Specialty Clinic. Supplying essential medicines is a key part of public health policy, and to achieve this, the Ministry of Health manages an extensive network of community pharmacies across the country. All 16 pharmacies in Djibouti have been fully equipped, renovated to better meet the needs of the population. And during the visit, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed received the explanation from the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdullah. The Prime Minister reviewed the improvements made to these facilities, particularly in terms of product availability, service quality, and control of medicine pricing. He also oversaw the implementation of a computerized management system that allows officials from the Central Purchasing Agency for Medicines and Essential Supplies to monitor all community pharmacies in real time from central levels, enhancing transparency and the efficiency of medicines management. The Ministry of Health, let's recall, manage an extensive network of community pharmacies across the whole country. In his speech, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdullah, stated that the launch of the new medicines and medical products purchasing center aims to strengthen the national stock and ensure the availability of essential medicines for all Djiboutian citizens. He added that the project reflects the government commitments to being prepared for any health emergency and to continuously and effectively meet the needs of Djiboutians. Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdullah also emphasized that the new center will improve the distribution of medicines and medical supplies, ensure the sustainability of stock, and maintain the quality of health services provided. For his part, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed confirmed that the Medicines and Medical Product Purchasing Center, known as KAMA, inaugurated a new warehouse today for storing medicines. He indicated that this warehouse is part of a broader strategy aimed at providing essential medicines and supplies locally, ensuring their availability for all citizens. He noted that given the ongoing events in the Middle East, the President had recently emphasized the importance of storing all essential needs, including medicines, within Djibouti. In this context, the arrival of medicines at the warehouse was described as very good news, as it ensures a stock is sufficient for several months, regardless of the duration of the current conflict in the Middle East. The Prime Minister said that more orders were on the way and will help increase the national stock of medicines. He also said that price will stay the same and there will be no increase in the cost of medicines or food products in the Republic of Djibouti. Moving on now to the foundation stone laid for the new Djibouti Skills Center. Under the high patronage of Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed and in the presence of several government members, a foundation stone ceremony for the new Djibouti Skills Center was held on Thursday morning. Among those attending were the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, the Minister of Labor, and the Minister of Urban Development, along with the World Bank representative, resident representative in Djibouti, and senior officials from the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training. The event was organized by the Ministry of National Education in Balbala South area, with the participation of technical and financial partners, administrative officials and key stakeholders in the education and vocational training sector. The Djibouti Skill Center is a strategic project aimed at providing the country with a modern hub for technical and vocational training. The project will cover, let's recall, a total area of 49,000 square meters, including the first phase of 34,000 square meters, followed by a planned extension of 50,000 square meters. The center will include several training units covering key sectors such as automotive, renewable energy, logistics and transport, tourism, digital technology, handicrafts, and fisheries. The goal is to improve youth employment and meet labor market needs and support the country's economic transformation. Opening the series of speeches, the Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, highlighted the Skills City as an innovative project that helps young people develop their abilities and gain the skill needed for today's job market. He highlighted the vital role of partnership between public institutions and the private sector, noting that this collaboration provided real opportunities for young people to enter the workforce or start their own businesses, while also encouraging innovation and initiative. The minister stated that investing in higher education and training is a key pillar for strengthening economic and social growth. And on the occasion, the Minister of Finances, Ilyas Musa Dawali, stressed that investing in human skills is very important for boosting productivity and supporting the growth of local industries. He stressed the need to adapt education and training strategies that keep pace with market development. He explained that continuous interaction between the public and private sector helps reduce the gap between education and labor market needs, while offering young people real opportunities to contribute to economic development. The minister also highlighted the vital role of successful training initiative in empowering the national workforce, fostering innovation, and ensuring the long-term sustainability of industrial projects. For his part, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, stated that the Skills Center represents an innovative model focused on developing skills and improving employment opportunities for young people. He noted that the project aimed to equip future generations with the knowledge and experience needed to meet the demands of the modern labor market. The minister explained that the project strengthens young people's ability to adapt to economic and social change while offering practical opportunities for learning and intensive training in various fields aligned with market needs. He also stressed the importance of strengthening partnership between public institutions and the private sector. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed highlighted the importance of technical training, especially in mechanics and electrical work, starting from primary and secondary education to better prepare young people for the job market. He also highlighted the role of innovation through business and the importance of the energy sector, especially renewable energy, as a key driver for economic growth. He pointed to the importance of partnership between educational institutions and the private sector in developing skills, noting that such cooperation helps provide practical training program aligned with the market needs and open wider opportunities for young people. The Prime Minister also emphasized that investing in technical training infrastructure contributes to improving the quality of vocational and technical education, enabling young people to gain practical experience and compete at both national and international levels. Moving on now to the next story, People's Palace hosted International Francophone Day celebrations. The People's Palace hosted this morning a ceremony marking the International Day of the Francophonie under the high patronage of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Abdul Qadir Hussein Humarra. The event was attended by several government and cultural figures, including the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hiba Momin Asowi. The celebration highlighted the importance of the French language as a tool for cultural exchange, dialogue, and international cooperation. Participants shared speeches and ideas, while various cultural activities were organized to celebrate the diversity and richness of Francophonie at both global and national levels. The events also feature artistic and musical performances showcasing French and international heritage, as well as exhibitions of books and publications dedicated to the French language and its literature aimed at raising cultural awareness, especially among young people. In his speech, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, spokesperson of the government, Abdul Qadir Hussein Omar, reaffirmed the country's commitment to promoting the French language and strengthening cooperation with the Francophone countries. Let's be reminded that the ceremony concluded with the honoring of several prominent figures in the field of culture and education in recognition of their contribution to promoting the French language and supporting Francophonie in the country. This celebration reflects the country's commitment to actively promote Francophone and strengthening cultural and educational exchange at both national and international levels. In her speech, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hiba Momin Asowi, praised the role of young people in culture in promoting the French language and preserving its heritage. She said it was an honor to see many young people gather around the French language and the values of peace. She noted that the event reflected the importance of linguistic diversity and highlighted Djibouti's commitment to preserving it. She described Djibouti as a country open to the world and a harbor for languages, especially French, and commended French speakers for keeping the language alive. The minister also stressed that language carries important message, adding that young people should continue to promote peace, dialogue, and mediation. She further underlined that Djibouti is known in the Horn of Africa for its role in promoting stability and peace, reflecting the efforts of the President of the Republic in supporting development in the region. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, for his part, reaffirmed the country's commitment in promoting the French language and strengthening cooperation with the Francophone countries. He said that he was honored to launch the official Francophonie Week in Djibouti and praised the institutional, diplomatic, and educational cultural partners whose ongoing commitment enriches and promotes Francophonie in the country. The minister explained that Francophonie goes beyond language, serving as a space for expression, dialogue, and shared values including solidarity, respect for cultural diversity, and the promotion of peace and coexistence. He added that in Djibouti, this commitment has a special significance. While the surrounding region is known for its linguistic and cultural diversity, Djibouti places Francophonie at the heart of its diplomatic and public policies. Other story now, the National Media Committee conducted a special visit to Djibouti radio and television ahead of presidential elections. And as part of preparation for the upcoming presidential elections, the National Media Committee carried out an inspection visit to the headquarters of Djibouti Radio and Television RTD. This visit aimed to ensure equal access for all candidates to public media and to verify that broadcasting systems adhere to standards of transparency and democratic fairness. Let's be reminded the delegation led by the committee's president, Ali Mohamed Dimbio, was received by the Director General of Djibouti Radio and Television, Aden Abdi Jama, along with several senior officials from his department. The visit included a tour of the institution's technical and editorial facilities. Then the delegation began by inspecting the digital terrestrial TV studio, where key moments of the election campaign are broadcast. They then moved to the news control room, the main hub for managing news flow and coordinating work between editorial and field teams. And during the tour, the Director General provided a detailed explanation of the technical infrastructure, editorial procedures, and emergency protocols in place to ensure continuous broadcasting under any circumstance. He also had outlined measures to verify media content and guarantee a balanced and fair coverage of all candidates. The visit included the radio studios, highlighting the institution's long-standing expertise in audiovisual media and its ability to reach diverse segments of society through multiple platforms. And afterwards, the delegation also visited the strategic PK-12 site, where terrestrial broadcasting facilities are located, observing antenna equipment, coverage areas, and backup systems designed to maintain uninterrupted service. Committee officials noted that these facilities ensure the delivery of high-quality media content to all citizens, including those in remote areas, strengthening the inclusiveness of election coverage. The visit reflects the committee's ongoing monitoring of public media readiness for the presidential elections. The delegation observed a high level of engagement among all teams within Djibouti Radio and Television, including reporters, journalists, technicians, and administrative staff. Taking the floor, the Director General of RTD, Aden Abdi Jama, outlined the measures in place to verify media content and ensure balanced and fair coverage of all candidates. He emphasized the institution's commitment to professionalism and neutrality, highlighting its role in building public trust in the information provided. He explained that as part of preparation for the 2026 presidential election campaign, the National Media Committee responsible for supervising media coverage during the campaign conducted a working visit to Djibouti Radio and Television. The visit allowed, he said, the committee to review the broadcasters' preparation, including organizational arrangements, the mobilization of media coverage teams, updates to communication infrastructure, production tools, and logistical preparation. As Director General and Head of the Audiovisual Media Department, Mr. Jama reaffirmed the broadcasters' commitment to providing an equal platform for every candidate, enabling them to present their political programs to voters in a professional environment that respects pluralism as set out in the Identity Charter. The Director General of RTD also confirmed that Djibouti Radio and Television is ready to work closely with the National Media Committee to provide reliable, transparent, and responsible information supporting the smooth running of the 2026 presidential election campaign. And as part of the preparation for the presidential election scheduled for April 10, 2026, a senior delegation from the Independent National Electoral Commission, known as CENI, led by its president, Bahnan Ali Maidan, conducted an inspection tour in Al Sabih region. The delegation, accompanied by the Director of Elections, Wahiba Omar Elmi, was received by the regional prefect, Abdul Malik Mohammed Banuita, along with members of the local authorities, headed by Ridwan Aden Ainan. The prefect of the region welcomed the delegation and provided a brief report on the distribution of voter registration cards in the area. He noted that since the start of the process, around 48% of voters had received their cards from the region, a figure he described as encouraging at this stage. Discussion between the CENI delegation and the prefect of Al Sabah region focused on the organization of the upcoming presidential election with particular attention to logistical and administrative arrangement to ensure the smooth running of the presidential election. In a press interview, Ridwan Aden Ainan, Vice President of CENI in Al Sabah region, expressed satisfaction with the smooth distribution of voter cards in the region. He also praised the prefect and his team for their effort in facilitating citizens' access to this essential part of the electoral process. The inspection tool reflects the CENI's commitment to ensuring optimal preparation for the elections across the whole country, just weeks before this important national vote. CENI officials emphasize that continued monitoring and coordination with local authorities will remain essential to guarantee a smooth and transparent electoral process. The president of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Bahnan Ali Maiden, visited the Arta region this morning, accompanied by several commission members. They were received upon arrival by the regional prefect Hassan Dabili and the vice president of CENI, Saad Ibrahim. The delegation then held a working meeting at the prefecture to review the progress of elections preparation. Discussion focused on the precise organization of electoral operations, security arrangements, preparation of election materials, and training of the staff involved. The prefect also provided a dedicated office within the prefecture to facilitate monitoring and coordinating of electoral activities in the region. CENI officials stressed that the main goal is to ensure the integrity and transparency of the voting process on the election day. And following the meeting, the delegation conducted a field visit to polling stations and facilities prepared for electoral operations. The commission teams observed strong local mobilization and the effectiveness of system in place to receive voters under optimal conditions. Turning now to the world news, a drone attack targeted Kuwait International Airport, causing a major fire after one drone hit a fuel tank, despite several others being intercepted by Kuwaiti Air Defense. Firefighters and security teams quickly contained the blaze and no injuries were reported. Some airport operations were temporarily suspended. So that's it for the news. Thanks for being with us and stay tuned for more program on HD channel.